Well, salutations and greetings, my dear mole rat slayers, and welcome back to Fallout 2. In the last video, we became certified rangers, then made our way to Vault 15 just to check it out, and saw that NCR has indeed been true to their word and helped fix the place up. We are now on the way to Vault 13, which I can almost guarantee you we will be ambushed once or twice more before we get there, which is highly unfortunate. Maybe we won't be ambushed. Am I actually gonna make it? I made it. However, I think it's nighttime. Let me save it here. We feel better. So, does that mean my psycho addiction is gone? 123 karma. I'm overloaded. You know what, I might as well use some jet. Down to 8. Whatever, I just don't want to drop a bunch of stuff. So this is the fabled Vault 13. It's even emblazoned on the door there. You see the Vault 13 outer door. And amazingly enough, it opens up for us. Hey, there's a wall locker. It's just a shame we can't get back to it. Okay. And hey, there's people here. You see a Deathclaws! They're not attacking, though. Do not fear me, human. I do not intend to harm you. I am Groot, leader of this Deathclaw pack. Why have you come here? How is it possible that a Deathclaw can talk? And better than me. Forgive me. I do not mean to be rude, but I do not see that this is relevant to our conversation. I can speak your tongue, and I can read your written word. What more needs to be said? Look, I don't mean to pry, but surely you can understand my interest in this matter. Yes, I certainly can. Very well. If we part as friends, human, you should speak with Goris. He has more understanding in this matter than I. He can usually be found in the Vault Library. Well, thank you. I look forward to meeting Goris then. So why have you come here? I want to know what happened to the people. Actually, I'll just be straightforward and honest. I'm looking for something called a gek. I was told I could find one here. A gek? Is that not a small lizard? No, wait. That is a gecko. I am sorry, but I do not know what a gek is, nor where it can be found. Well, I'm going to use my empathy, of course. To be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what it is myself. Would it be all right with you if I looked for it? I am sorry, human, but I do not allow just anyone to wander these halls. I am responsible for the safety of all who live here, and I must exercise caution. However, I will look for this gek, and if I find it, I will let you know. Look, I can understand your concern. You don't know me well enough to trust me. What if I could help you out somehow, and in return, you allow me to look around? Gruthar stares at us intently for a moment. You would be interested in helping us? Yes, I sense little evil in you. Very well, I shall place my trust in you. Thank you. There are many machines here, machines built by humans. Deathclaw hands cannot use these machines. However, there is one machine that understands questions. I ask it to run the other machines and it obeys. This machine no longer listens. It will no longer run the other machines. We are running out of food and water. I have ordered raids on the human lands so that we may survive. I am not proud of this, and I would put an end to it. If you repair this machine, I will be able to feed my people once again. I will gladly stop the raids. Will you agree to this? I will do what I can for you. Thank you. The machine is in the vault control center on the 3rd level. If you can repair it, please do so. I am placing my trust in you. Please do not betray it. You are welcome here. I won't let you down, Gruthar. You have my word on that. So, we need to help a bunch of Deathclaws, because they're running out of food and water. That sounds somewhat similar to the legend of the Vault Dweller, except he didn't have to help Deathclaws. Hello, I'm Joseph the Herbalist. What can I help you with? Just had some questions. Okay, what would you like to know? Are you a prisoner here? No, I'm not a prisoner. I stay because I'm needed here. I've learned to accept the fact that some of my patients are Deathclaws. Well, that is very commendable of you. He's not a prisoner, so I'm sure he can leave. What can you tell me about the Deathclaws? Well, let's see. Deathclaws appear to be mutated Jackson's chameleons, the horned variety. There are a lot of similarities still present, but an even greater number of differences. The mutation factor is quite high. This species is highly intelligent, about the equivalent of an 8-year-old, with some individuals reaching human normal level. Their learning capacity is very high, and they are capable of abstract thought and reasoning. Although they do not have vocal cords, the Deathclaws seem to mimic human speech much the same as a parrot does. I have yet to discover this exact mechanism behind this, so I am unable to say more at this time. Socially, they are pack animals, with a very rigid code of ethics. They are led by an alpha male who rules with the mutual consent of the pack. They appear to be extremely loyal to the pack as a whole, treating it as a family unit rather than having individual families as humans do. Their sense of right and wrong is very well defined. They do follow a code of ethics that is enforced by the pack as a whole. Violence is never used as a solution to a problem among the pack as far as I can see. There have been no capital crimes committed here, so I can't say how those are handled. That's about all I can think of for now. I hope this helps you. That actually is impressive. That's more knowledge on Deathclaws from this individual in just about a minute or two than I have picked up throughout all of the other Fallout games combined, I'm pretty sure. So what would you like to know? How did you come to be here? Well, I was gathering some herbs one night when a voice called to me out of the darkness. I have been watching you, it said, and I know that you are a healer. Are you dedicated to your art enough to heal someone foreign to you? Someone whom many would consider an enemy? I answered that I respected all life, and would do my best to heal the injured, regardless of who or what they were. I thought it was some thief or raider who had gotten himself hurt and needed a doctor. You can't begin to imagine my surprise when a couple of Deathclaws stepped out of the night with an injured companion. Somebody had shot him up real good. I told them I couldn't work on him where we were, so they blindfolded me and brought me here. I've been here from that day forward. You know, you are truly a dedicated man who deserves recognition. So what would you like to know? Do you have anything to barter for? No. Dang it. You can leave, right? Yeah, I can, and often do. I have to collect my herbs from time to time, and I've never been stopped. I used to wonder if the Deathclaws were secretly following me and whether or not they would stop me if I tried to leave. So one day I put the theory to the test. I traveled to another town and stayed there a week or so before returning. When I got back, I was warmly welcomed. Gruthar, the pack leader, came to me privately and personally thanked me for coming back. No, I am definitely here because I want to be. I'm glad to see it all worked out for you. So, what would you like to know? Apparently nothing else. That's pretty interesting. These might be the only nice Deathclaws in all of Fallout. Forgive, I no speak well. I try talk you. Who are you? I Thearn. Who you? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the plump one. You want what? No offense, but just how smart are you? What are you doing here? I guard Hall. Safety a pack goal. Well, you're doing a great job. How smart are you? How I judge. Not know. Some things understand much. Some things understand little. Lot things understand not. That does sound a lot like me. Nope, just passing the time. Farewell. I'm gonna save it. because I'm probably going to screw up at some point and piss all of them off and then be torn to shreds. So far, they don't seem to mind that my gun is constantly drawn, even though I think I will be nice and put it away. Hey, there's another human there. Seems the Deathclaws don't much like these rooms, though. Hello, human. So, sorry to bother you too, but who are you? I, Dar. Warrior. I'm the plump one, Dar, and I'm a warrior from my tribe, too. What you want? What's your job here? Dar, guard hall and keep peace. Nothing more. Well, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. What do you want? How educated are you? Not much, but I learn. Gruthar, he leader. Tell us all learn. Gruthar is right. You should all try to educate yourselves. Stay in school. Don't drop out. Farewell, Deathclaw. Who is that? We see a lean man in long robes. He appears to be deep in thought. Very interesting. I didn't think I'd find other humans here. We see a sad older man. Oh, I didn't see you standing there, Sonny. That's okay. We all space out at times. Say, you look rather down. What's going on? I was born 2 months premature. When I was 1, I was dropped on the porch. When I was 2, I had pneumonia. When I was 3, I got the chicken pox. When I was 4, I fell down the stairs and broke 6 ribs. When I was 5, my uncle was decapitated by a watermelon. When I was 6, my parents hit me in the head with a shovel. When I was 7, I lost my right index finger to my pet rat. Oh my goodness. When I was 8, my dog Spike got hit by a tractor. When I was 9, my mother lost her arm to a rabid Brahmin. When I was 10, my sister was torn to bits by a pack of dogs. When I was 11, my grandfather killed himself because I was ugly. When I was 12, my grandmother killed herself because I was ugly. When I was 13, my father poked out his eyes with a pitchfork in a drunken stupor. Oh, good Lord. When I was 14, my brother lost his hand to a wallaby. When I was 15, my aunt choked to death on a chicken bone. When I was 16, I lost my cousin to a honey badger. When I was 17, I cut off my left big toe with a hoe. When I was 18, my father lost his right leg to the same tractor that killed my dog. When I was 19... Goddamn. I'm truly sorry that you've had so much pain in your life. Hopefully things have gotten better. Well, there I was, traveling through the desert, when suddenly my Brahmin falls over dead. About then I realized I was low on water and hadn't had a drink in quite a while. Later, my bones began to ache, my head started to hurt, my bowels became loose, and I got this rash that just wouldn't go away. It was time to set down and die. Well, there I was sitting in the desert, waiting for the world to swallow my miserable existence, when a pack of Deathclaws shows up. Well, I'm thinking to myself, this is it. Now I can die. I can wind up as a pile of Deathclaw shit in the middle of the desert. But no, fate had yet another cruel card to play against me. You see, the Deathclaws didn't kill me. Instead, they gave me water, brought me here, gave me this room, gave me food, cleaned me up, and now they won't let me leave. I know they're fattening me up for some unknown, horrible fate. I keep telling them that I would probably taste better if I was leaner, but it does no good. They just smile, if you can call it that, and pat me on the head and say, "Don't worry, human. Things will get better." Ha! We both know what that means. Anyway, to make matters worse, then they started giving me some sort of medication. It was making me gassy, so I stopped taking it. It's a good thing I did. I think it was some sort of mind control pill, because I started to feel like things weren't actually as bad as I thought. Anyway, that's about it. I'm just waiting for the dinner bell to chime so they can feast on my bloated body. Please tell me that you don't have any children. Nope. When I turned 22, this strange fungus started to grow on my test. Stop it. I don't want to know. I'm the groin mutilator and... even that's too much information. Good Lord. I do not remember talking to that guy. And who are you, a tall, slender man? Is there something that I can help you with, stranger? Actually, yes, I'd like to ask some questions. What do you want? Well, who are you? My name is Matt. Does it matter? Not really. Are you a prisoner here? Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I stumbled upon this place and got myself captured by the Deathclaws. They give me freedom of movement within the lower levels of the vault, but I can never go to level 1 where the exit is. And why is that? Because, unlike the rest of the sheep who live here, I recognize them as a threat to humanity. They know that if I get out of here, I will see to it that they are wiped off the face of the earth. Look, they can think for themselves. They can learn, they can read, and even write if they dip a claw in ink. They are fast, tough, perceptive, and deadly. If their numbers grow large enough, they'll be the greatest threat that the human race could ever face. Think about it. They need to be eliminated. I actually don't agree with him. Besides, the humans already suck anyways. Who cares if the Deathclaws take over? I trust them. You're a fool to trust them. If you change your mind, come back and get me. Yep, goodbye. So, if for some reason you want to kill all the Deathclaws, I think you can talk to him and he'll join you or something in your foolish quest to get torn to shreds. Hello, you. Wait a second. I can't remember if I dropped that robe or not. I probably did. Do you have that robe? I know I was trying to keep... No, I've got it. I'm going to wear the robe when I talk to this guy. Just because I'm curious if it's the same type of robe. I've never actually wore this robe this playthrough. It is. Awesome. Welcome, traveler. I am called Gordon, and I am the Shrine Keeper. What can I help you with? It's a pleasure to meet you, Gordon. I'm Plump One. Can I ask you some questions? Certainly, you may. Okay, what is this shrine dedicated to? The shrine is dedicated to an unnamed hero, known only as the Vault Dweller. He, or she, was the savior of all who lived here several decades ago. We do not know what became of our savior, but he or she lives on in our minds and hearts. Commendable. Can I ask you something else? How long have you been here? I have lived all my life here in this vault. I have been a shrine keeper for most of those years. Let me ask some other questions. What can you tell me about the Deathclaws? I have lived with the Deathclaws for several months now. They seem to be honorable and forthright in their dealings with me and the other humans who live here. I trust them, and in time, I think you will as well. So does that mean that the Deathclaws only moved in a few months ago, and he's been living here in this shrine way before that? I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for now. Let's see, why do you stay here? My place is here at the shrine. I will not leave it willingly. Okay, that's admirable. Goodbye. I was really hoping that he might comment on that robe, but probably too much to hope for. Okay. Is there anything else around here? Any wall lockers I need to loot? I guess not. Excuse me, Stulik, why you always gotta block me? Things are going so peaceful until he runs a defense in front of me. Surprise, there's a woman and a child there. And another person here. Let me save it. 159. I have a feeling I'm gonna reach save 200 much quicker than I reached save 100. Well, I'll be. How you doing, Plump One? I hope everything worked out for you at the squad. Dahlia! Thanks to you, things worked out great. I'm glad to hear that. It was my pleasure to do what I could for you. So, what can I help you with? I got some questions for you. Are you a prisoner here? No, I'm not. I'm here of my own free will, and I like it. I think this will be a safe place for me to stay a while. All right. You can leave any time, right? Yeah, I've been told I'm free to go or stay. I'm staying for now. I don't blame you. It seems like a safe place to be after all the bullshit she's been through. What can you tell me about the Deathclaws? I don't know any more about them than you do, I guess. I'm still trying to get used to them talking to me instead of tearing my head off and using it for a golf ball. It's scary, you know. Yeah, it is in a lot of ways, but there's something about the adrenaline rush that they might go feral at any moment. Let's see, how did you come to be here? Well, after I left the squad, I didn't know what to do with myself. I figured I'd just drift into another town or another hired gun job. So I was wandering the desert trying to decide exactly where I should go. Well, one day I was looking for a good place to camp. It was getting late, and I didn't want to be out in the open after dark. Off in the distance, a ways, I thought I saw a campfire. So I decided to see who was there. So I sneak up on this campsite, and there are these two Deathclaws sitting around the fire just chatting away. Idiot that I am, I let out a little cry of surprise, jumped up, and turned to run. Right into the arms of another Deathclaw, standing right behind me. Anyway, to make a long story short, it took a while for me to realize that I wasn't about to be put on a spit and barbecued. Instead, I was brought here and interviewed by Groot. Now I can live here if I want. That's actually pretty neat. So, why are you worried about needing a place of safety? Look, when I let you buy me in the squad, I broke my contract with my employer. I was sure that I'd be hunted down and killed because of it. Seeing you here convinces me that I don't have to worry about that. I can only assume that my previous employer is no longer in any condition to be concerned with me or my whereabouts. You're right, Dahlia. You have no need to worry about any retribution. He's dead. And his dirty dog, too. Thanks, Plump One. That takes a load off my mind. You're welcome. Farewell. So, before we go talk to that Deathclaw, I want to... Hey, look at this. I'm going to save it again. This is an important man. We see a robed figure. I use man very liberally. Hello, I'm Goris. I don't recognize you. Are you new here? Hello, Goris. Groot said I should look you up. He seems to think you're the man with the answers. So, you've talked with Groot. He has a rather inflated opinion of me. I don't really know half as much as he thinks I do. Anyway, so you're an outsider. I've seen a few like you. Some are staying here in the vault, but you look different. You appear to be more seasoned, if you know what I mean. I'll bet you've been around a bit and accomplished things. Am I right? Yeah, I've had some adventures. Say, if you wouldn't mind answering some questions for me, I could tell you some of my adventures in return. It's a deal. I would love to hear anything you can tell me. What would you like to know? What are you doing here? I'm surprised Groot didn't tell you about me. Oh well. I'm a student of sorts. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the world and the different cultures that have developed. Right now, I'm studying the culture the Deathclaws are forming, and comparing it to human development along similar lines. I've acquired just about all the information I need here. It would help my research a great deal if I could do some traveling. However, I don't want to go it alone, if you know what I mean. So you're a scholar. It's quite an accomplishment in today's world. Let's see, are you a prisoner here? No, I can leave any time I like. I haven't done so because I don't want to travel alone. I'm pretty tough and can take care of myself, but I would still be one person alone in the desert if anything happened. I don't like traveling alone either. That's why me and Sulik have been together this entire adventure so far. I don't blame you. How long have you been here? A few months, actually. I came here from the coast a while back. Wow, you're pretty new here yourself. If you don't mind, I want to know more. What can you tell me about the Deathclaws here? These aren't your average Deathclaws, as I'm sure you noticed. They've had their intelligence enhanced by some means not understood by them. It was done by a group of humans known as the Enclave. It seems the Enclave needed an army, and they choose Deathclaws because of their ferocity, physical prowess, and, well, you get the picture. Anyway, the only thing lacking in Deathclaws was their intelligence. They needed to be smart enough to understand complex commands, but not so smart that they'd be a threat to those in charge. So the Enclave started messing with a virus or some such thing, and injected the Deathclaws with it. This virus was known to mutate humans into some sort of super beings, so the Enclave wanted to see what it would do to Deathclaws. Well, the result was a breed of Deathclaws so smart that they could see they were being destined for slavery. So they played dumb until they could gain their freedom. And here they are. That's pretty damn incredible. Let me ask you some more stuff. Yeah, what did happen to the people who used to live here? They were captured by the Enclave. Gruthar and the pack were forced to aid in their capture. They had no choice since they were slaves at the time. The fate of the humans has weighed heavily on Gruthar's mind. He's never really forgiven himself for his complicity in the affair. The humans were taken alive, but who knows what has happened to them since. Sometimes we're forced into doing distasteful things by situations outside of our control. Gruthar should learn to forgive himself, if that's even a trait that Deathclaws have inherited. Let's see. What can you tell me about Gruthar? Well, Gruthar is not the monster that he appears to be. He genuinely cares about all of us here, and is doing everything he can to ensure our safety and survival. All of us trust him with our lives. I don't know what else I can say about him. You would have to get to know him and judge him for yourself. Okay. I'll reserve judgment for him then until I know him better. Let's see, do you think the Deathclaws are a threat to humans? Well, the potential is there, especially when you take their new intelligence into account. However, I don't think that Gruthar and his pack pose a threat. They all seem to respect life and personal freedom above all else. Now, I don't expect you to take my word on this. I would ask you to judge for yourself. There are others who live here whom you can ask your questions. Thanks. I got more questions, though. What is this enclave you spoke of? No, not only what I've told you. Wait, there is one other thing. The enclave showed an interest in some ruins to the west of here. I don't know why. That's about it. Well, every little bit of information does help, and I thank you for it. What do you know about the virus? I think it's called the FEV virus. The Enclave is, or was, doing extensive research on it. I'm sorry, but I don't know anything more. Thanks, Goris. You've been more than helpful. I don't think he can join me. Plump one, I would, but you have too many people. I'll have to wait here. So yes, that is another companion. Let me tell you, he is a very surprising companion. Don't be shy. Don't be scared away that he's a scholar. At some point, I might come back and actually recruit him just to show him off. Let's see. We see a short, slender woman wearing a blue velvet sundress. Hello, I'm Ariel. I don't think I've seen you here before. Who are you? Well, hello, I'm the plump one, and I am new. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. What can I help you with? I just have some questions. Oh, I'm so tired of asking some of these. No one is a fucking prisoner here except those psycho people who want to kill the Deathclaws. I'm gonna ask them anyways, though. No, I can leave any time I want. The Deathclaws have made that very clear to me. They don't hold anyone here against their will, as far as I know. I agree, except for that one guy who wants to go bring down the wrath of humanity on them. How have they treated you? Have they treated you all right? Yep, they provide me with food, water, shelter, and protection. I feel very safe here, and that's more than I could ask for. Let's see, would you like to leave the vault? I've considered it, but I would have to say no. I feel safer here than anywhere else I've ever lived. I do get lonely for the company of other people like myself, but hopefully others will come to live here in the future and satisfy that need. Let's see, tell me, why are you so sad? My husband recently died. I miss him, and I'm having problems adjusting. That's all. I'm sorry to hear that. How did it happen? Well, my husband and I were traveling with a caravan on its way to the new California Republic. We wanted to start a new life for ourselves and our daughter, Sandy. Unfortunately, the caravan was attacked by raiders one night. They were incredibly brutal. They killed everyone, men, women, and children. Rand, my husband, died trying to defend Sandy and me. We were to die next when a miracle occurred. I was holding Sandy behind me, trying to keep her from the monster that had shot Rand. He stood next to my husband's body and laughed at me as he aimed his gun at my head. Suddenly, this huge claw came out of the darkness, grabbed him from behind, and, well, thank goodness that Sandy didn't see what happened next. Anyway, The raiders were being wiped out by this group of Deathclaws. The one that saved Sandy and me stood near us and talked to me. He kept reassuring me that I was safe, and that he was sorry that he couldn't have gotten there sooner to help us. Afterwards, the Deathclaws brought us here. That is a miracle. I guess I'll talk to you later. So where is your little Sandy? I don't think she has anything to say, do you? She does. Meow meow, I am a cat. And I have special powers that only cats have. What are you? I'm a person that's gonna kick your ass if you don't stop this cat nonsense. Please, she's a very traumatized little girl. Okay, she wants to escape and be a cat, whatever. I'm just a normal person who's quite impressed with your special nature. What's your name? I'm Sandy. I'm not really a cat, I just like to play. Let me ask you some questions. Are you forced to stay here? Yeah. My mom always tells me where I can and can't go. She tells me where I can play, and when to eat, and when to go to bed, and when to go potty, and when to go to school, and everything. I don't think it's fair that she can do anything she wants, but I gotta do what she says all the time. I see. Of course kids would think that. Do you like it here? I guess. I miss not having other kids to play with, but Mom says that will change someday. She thinks other kids will come to live here. Until they do, I like to play with Valdez. He's funny and gives me piggyback rides. Mom says I should leave Valdez alone. He's busy and doesn't have time to play, but he always plays with me when I ask him. I just don't tell Mom about it anymore. Smart kid. Are you safe here? Yeah. Mommy takes care of me, and Valdez wouldn't let anyone hurt me. I'm safe here. Farewell. So as you can see, these Deathclaws are perfectly fine to be trusted. The only person who says they're here against their will, besides the kid that doesn't really know better, is that brutal murderer. Racist, xenophobe, whatever. Speciesist. Something like that. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here, and whenever we come back, I might try to check out this room. I don't know if I can get into it. And there's their hatchery. And then we're going to explore the rest of the Vault 13 here. And see exactly where that broken computer is, too.